What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Sooner Surge. Double Trouble coming at you nightly at 9:30. Thanks. A lot of the usuals on here as well. The faithfuls on here. We do got something for you as the Fan Stop has come out with some officially licensed national championship softball shirts. You can see them right there on your screen, I think. Hunter's made this graphic for us. You got the gray, the ash gray, and you got the red. There's links in our description. All you softball fans, get on there and get you one or maybe two officially licensed national championship shirts. You won't be disappointed. Every Fan Stop shirt I've got, Jay, super soft, unbelievable.
That's right. And hey, Uncle Charlie, believe you're talking about Kaylee Wickoff. Mentioned her earlier this week as that was one I think Oklahoma would pursue. If anybody heard Patty Gasso, she was on the Sports Animal this afternoon, apparently looking at maybe 4 or 5 portal visitors this week and into next week. So they're going to start moving on that stuff. I do think Kaylee Wickoff is a name to watch, Uncle Charlie. I said as soon as I saw her enter the portal, and also when I saw their coach leaving, I figured they would probably lose some, and she is really talented and fits a need for Oklahoma, and that's what I'm basing it off of. Hey, you got a need. She's a good player. I think it'd be a good fit. We'll see what they do. I don't know. We'll see. Greg Gott, I'm not going to give him time of day. He's unbelievable. The whole thing.
Jay, I thought about doing a commitment video today on Baby Gronk, but we didn't get to that. Jay, Patty Gasso was on the Sports Animal.
That's right.
And talked about she didn't give specific names, but did talk about that they're going to have some portal visits coming in these next couple of weeks, which that's not a surprise considering they have till June 28th to get those portal additions to this already incoming amazing 8 class.
I believe she said also that Avery Hodge's decision to transfer was before the World Series. She had already told them that decision. So that was not like shocker to Oklahoma to Patty Gasso. It didn't sound like to me.
Yeah. They're talking about national media and how it treats Oklahoma. And I think this is in regards to other things, but I think it depends on who you're listening to because, frankly, I think a lot of national media give OU a lot of respect and high accolades. Now, there's a handful that doesn't, but I think overall, I think nationally sometimes they're in a better light than locally sometimes, Jay, especially with the fan base.
I think it just depends on who it is and everything. So, I mean, there's always national media, and it's not just Oklahoma. I think the national media, you're not in it as much as obviously the OU media and the Sooner fans and stuff. So you're going to have a little bit different opinion. Sometimes I think the national media is more, what's the word I'm looking for? Unbiased opinion because they're not around as much. But also sometimes they don't know as much, so it's not as legitimate, I think. So I don't know. Yes, I did see the Emmett Jones tweet, Colin. I did. Looked like they had a surprise visitor at wide receiver there today too, Marcus Harris.
Yeah, and the athlete Jay in the 2028 class he's a freak.
Oh, you're talking about
I
can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, it's a name I can't pronounce, but I'm just talking about his size. Unbelievable.
Hey, unbelievable, ridiculous size and athlete. He was.
It's 2028, so who cares?
Are you kidding me right now? Are you one of those people?
Yeah, I am. Until they sign, Jay, you already know who I am on this.
Please tell me you're not one of those persons that says 2028, who cares?
Yeah, I just said it, Jay.
This guy's going to be unbelievable. He'd be a 5-star for sure.
You never know for sure. 3 years down the road's a long time. 4 years,
Do you know
Jay?
his size? Do you know his
Yeah,
size?
he's huge, Jay.
Okay. Yeah.
Going
into ninth grade,
say
like 2'7", 6'7".
He's massive, Jay.
But it doesn't matter. You don't want to get a relationship with him. It's still 4 years down the road.
Who said you don't want to get a relationship with him?
Well, you were like, who cares?
From my perspective, I care more about next year's class.
I mean, I agree with that, but you got to
Jeez, man. Hey, Uncle Charlie, no, we don't know why Hodge is leaving. And I think Mark said it earlier. I don't think there's a chance Avery Hodge comes back. If she already told him before the World Series she was leaving, no chance.
No, Avery Hodge is going to go somewhere where she's pretty much guaranteed a starting job. And I think she would be starting next year for Oklahoma, but I do think the way it happened this year with her not playing at the beginning of the season as much, I think it'd be one of those things that maybe in her head she's thinking, hey, look who's coming in, Tia Malloy, some of these other players, Katie McKay. It's going to be a battle. Maybe she wants to go somewhere she knows. And maybe she wants to go closer to home, guys. I mean, who knows?
Hey, yeah, I think
Marcus Fakatu. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Fakatu.
But Susie is in town right now. Yep.
And listen, I think anytime Daniel Akinkumi is leading a tour guide, you won't find anyone better probably. I think he would be great to be around.
What do you think on that? Do you think it's good to have somebody that just came out of that and is a freshman? Or do you think it's good to have somebody that's a junior?
Well, yeah, and also his personality, man.
I agree. I think that's more anything when it is on these visits, the personality of the guy you're pairing him with, I think makes a big difference.
Yeah, and Uncle Charlie, thanks again for watching all the videos we've been putting out. We're trying our best to, give kudos to that senior class, but also highlight that freshman class that's coming in because it's a great class as well, kind of carrying of the torch and handing over the torch.
Hey, Paul, any words? She's not in the portal.
She's not in the portal, and I don't look for it to be, Jay.
I don't either. So nothing's going to happen unless she enters the portal. So again, you got till June 28th, I think, to enter the portal. Correct?
Yes, and Jay, don't you think Patty Gasso has sent some invites of who she wants? And listen, I highly doubt any of those invites come to OU, get for a visit, look at Love's Field, visit with them, and says, I'm not going there. Hey, if they come to OU, they're coming here. Period.
Here's the deal, though. Right now, the team that's getting ready to run the Big 12 is having a great portal class, and that's OSU.
OSU is.
They just got another one today, and they didn't really release the name. I think it's probably Riley Crandall from Baylor going to be transferring there, if I had to guess. But you already have the Washington pitcher transferring there. So, and listen, Uncle Charlie, I think right now, I don't think there's elite pitchers in the portal yet. Now, there will be, I think, one or two, and I think that's when OU would jump out there. But right now, I don't know. I wouldn't say elite. I think there's some good ones. I don't see elite. Riley Crandall, to me, was a good one. I don't think she's elite. I mean, she had a better year 2 years ago than last year. Last year, she really kind of struggled. So maybe a change of scenery would really help her out. But there's some from some mid-majors and stuff, but nothing that I just think, nothing was like what OU got last year when you look at Kelly Maxwell. And even part of the team, for that matter.
And as Jay Johnson, OU1 says, Patty Saban will be just fine. Hey, again, everyone that's talking softball, check out the FanStop, fanstop.com. The links are in our description for the national championship. There's a gray, there's a crimson, officially licensed gear for national championship shirts in our description. Link in our description. Jay, what are your thoughts again on the 2024 rule changes for college football this year?
You have to remind me of all of them.
Well, there's two. There's the helmet. Well, there may be more, but the two most significant ones are the helmet communication until 15 seconds in the play clock. And that, do you think teams are going to slow pace down because of that?
I don't know about that. The other one was 2-minute warning, right?
Yeah, the other one is 2-minute warning in each half. And I like that one, but you don't like it?
I like it. I like them both.
They're both more NFL-like. I like them both as well.
Hey, and by the way, softball is proposing a rule change for next year with the review as far as leaving the base early. Thank goodness. They're still going to review it, but you can't review on like home runs and certain other plays where it doesn't matter. Thank goodness. That needed to be fixed.
It was a waste. And Topher, I know OU football is profitable. I don't know if men's basketball, how profitable they are right now. I look, the arenas, the renderings of the arenas, I've not seen them all. Of course, all this would be great, but NIL is kind of the name of the game right now, Jane. How much can you afford to put other stuff out there when you got to pay these players?
That's part of it, and that's all. That's going to be the issue going forward is how much money is going to be towards NIL. What about renovations? Does that get put on the back burner? You've kind of seen that a little bit. I think with Oklahoma football, some of the renovations have been pushed off to the side. Is that money going towards NIL now? Anyway, you could talk about that for a whole show, but yeah.
I do think, Jay, the football helmet communication, again, if anything, people are going to go faster pace because once it's under 15 in the play clock, you don't have the communication anymore.
Yeah, I'm for any rule that's getting you closer to the NFL, whatever sport it is. If you're moving to the NBA or whatever, have some rules that are getting you prepared for that. And the helmet thing, it's kind of silly they've never had that, I think, because in the NFL you do it. Why not already have guys prepared? The quarterback's prepared when they go to the NFL with that. You know what I mean?
So, Jay, do you know who was the lead coach on that rules committee?
Who's that?
Kirby Smart. And some of the stuff he said about it was great. It's not because people are stealing signs, Connor Stallions of the world. It's not why they're doing it. His answer was, we're trying to get the game more like the NFL. That's great.
Guys need to be ready to go in the NFL.
Absolutely. Look, yeah, I don't want to talk a lot of OU basketball right now, but I know they've started practice and workouts, Jay.
They have. And it's one of those things, and it's going to be this way, I think, for a long time, as far as every year you pretty much have it's almost a new team, because I think with the transfer portal on basketball, it's almost worse than football, I think, where you're turning your team over so much that off season, nobody really knows what you got. So,
Monty, Nellie Mack, in my opinion, her natural position is third base.
I agree.
I think she's a better corner third baseman than shortstop. So we'll see. Check out the video on Katie McKay we did today that we put out. Great winner from Caddo, Oklahoma. Hey, something else I was going to mention, though, Jay. I just lost my train of thought. I'll think of it in a minute. Do what?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, the fact that there's a thought there, that's impressive.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. Hey, OU softball, Monty, it's wide open. Everything's wide open except two spots. Pickering in the outfield and
Sid Sanders
at first. That's it. Everything else, I think, defensively wise, is open. So we'll see. Battle series will be fun next year. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And again, Jay, we got big time visits that are in Norman right now.
Yeah, this whole month's going to be big for OU recruiting. It is. And I think what you're going to see is, I think OU's going to, I think we'll be done with 2025 class for the most part come August. I think by the time the season starts, there's more high school players now that are trying to get done before their season than what used to be. I think a lot of them now are trying to get committed, get everything done before their season starts. Hey, let me ask you this. This is something I threw out there with Hunter today. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting thing, but like, what is to keep teams from, say there's a guy in 2026, maybe he's going to be a junior this year, right? Because high school, quote, now a lot of high schools can do NIL, right? So what is to keep colleges from giving money to certain high schools to then give to that player as basically a pre-NIL to when they get to their school, just to, hey, you're committed.
You're saying tampering at the high school level?
No, I'm saying under the table NIL from college to high school.
Yeah, and Jay, nothing's stopping. We live in a corrupt world, a corrupt society, and money drives everything. So obviously that could happen and probably already does. I think you're kidding yourself if you don't think it happens. I think it's everywhere.
I don't think it happens in high school right now through college.
I wouldn't be shocked right now, Jay, with some of the big time players if it's not happening.
And Greg God says at this point anything is legal. Wait, what do you think of the Big 12 changing their name? What do you think of that?
Mark said earlier it should be the Sooner Surge 12.
Well, what do you think of the All-State? They're taking the big out of it, correct? From what I've seen, it's gonna be like the All-State 12 or whatever. It's a money thing. It's a money thing. Sponsorship, basically. Put their name on it.
Jay, what do you think of the Guardian caps? I think you can wear them in college.
What do you mean?
The caps over the helmets.
I thought you could, but I don't think anybody will. I don't think people like them. I don't think a lot of the players like them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't asked someone if they have or not, but
hey, if it's gonna, I mean, I don't know. I think anything I don't know what those Guardian caps do. Do they help it make it safer? If it does, I think people will wear it. But I don't know. It's going to take one person to wear it before more do.
Yeah. Mez says the O-line should wear them.
Hey, it was good to see Hatchet out there working out pretty good.
Yeah, I saw Hatchet.
Yep.
That, in my opinion, is probably going to be the one position that everyone is the most highly anticipating seeing who the two deep is. Because pretty much across the board, it's there. Now, I will say again, Dasan McCullough, where he fits and Kobe McKenzie fits and how much they play, I think is something to keep an eye on.
I would agree. I think both those guys are guys that can play a lot. Or maybe you're looking at it halfway through the year and you're like, how come they're not playing that much? So
I've got a hot take right now.
Hey, Jimmy, I agree. And I hope so.
I've got a hot take right now.
What's that?
And I know your Tiger Woods hot take not going to end well.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It's day one.
I did like that he was practicing afterwards, though. Let me say this. Here's a hot take. I'm going to name 4 guys, Jay. Kip Lewis, Jaren Kanak, Kobe McKenzie, and Dasan McCullough. And I'm getting ready to say something. I think the 2 that might play the least, Kip Lewis and Jaren Kanak.
Are you on that now? You're on that train with Kanak, you don't think?
And Kip Lewis. This could be a Kobe McKenzie, Dasan McCullough thing.
I think they're going to play.
I think they'll all play, but
it is the thing of who's going to play the most when it gets into the critical time, and we'll see. I'm not going to say anything till mid-August to late August when I hear a little bit more about fall and getting ready for the season, because
that's when you shouldn't be saying anything because it's usually inaccurate at that time.
It's hard. I kind of agree, Greg God. I don't know how you can keep Kip with what he did last year. And
I agree, Jay, but
yeah.
I mean, I agree. He had a phenomenal few games last year, but yes, Mez. And what is Kip and Kanak?
So where do you put Stutzman?
Stutzman's already the starter, Jay. And Mez, I'm saying that some of these guys are probably working both. My opinion.
Yeah,
I don't know, though. I'm not at practice.
Mess. I wonder, though, if they really like Dolby. I do think
it's not just Dolby, Jay.
I think there's other guys, too. I think, what about Omashino? I think he's the guy.
Exactly, Jay. And Lewis Carter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I think at Cheetah, I think Sammy Omashigo.
And if Peyton Bowen plays any Cheetah.
Peyton Bowen's another one. I mean, they got guys. So I think it's going to be a revolving door per se, where they're going to be really rotating guys in early on. And I think it may be a deal where, hey, by game 3, whoever's looking the best, they're going to take over that role when you get into the SEC. I don't know.
Jay.
Yeah.
2 guys. I'm going to say 2 guys that you're just saying physique, seeing them on the field in uniform, 2 guys that It's just shocking they're not on the field. I got an offense and a defense. Can you tell me? Guess them.
Physique-wise?
Yeah, and just, I mean, they look the part.
Are you talking about last year or this coming year they're not going to play?
They're both on the team, Jay.
But last year or this year?
Yes, both.
Jaden
Lewis,
Gibson? Are you talking about Gibson?
No, Lewis Carter on defense.
Yeah, he was a freshman last year, though.
And the other guy, Jay, if he gets on the field, watch out. Caden Helms.
Yeah, I got to see what he does.
If Caden Helms was to get on the field and get an opportunity somehow and he's healthy, I'm just saying, he may never give up the position.
Well, they really need him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, isn't he more of a receiving tight end, though?
But they need him because
Agreed.
I'm not. I've heard a lot of people say, well, Donovan or Mitchell is just he needs a little bit of time. If that's the case, somebody's going to have to step up. Either Caden Helms or Jake Roberts. Somebody's going to have to help out in that tight end room.
What about Faye or Fanui?
I don't think so. Now, you do have Cade McIntyre as well. Could be an
Cade's
option.
different. Cade's a different type of player, in my opinion.
Who will win the Big 12? I kind of got a surprise team to win.
Utah's who I got.
I got UCF.
I got Utah because they got Cam. His age is rising, okay?
I got UCF going to win the Big 12 this year.
Bobby's guy who looks the part, if he can get enough playing time, is Jacoby Johnson.
That's actually a good one. Ron's got Kansas to win the Big 12. Bobby, that's a good name. Jimmy's got Kansas as well. I'm just not sold on Kansas, guys. They do have their quarterback back, though.
They got Daniels. Hey, who else? Surgeaholics? Someone that looks the part that maybe hasn't been on the field much that you say, wow, how's this guy not out there?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong on this, and I may be wrong, but I'm trying to remember. Is that not where KJ ended up, KJ Jefferson? Did he end up at UCF?
I think he did, Jay, and they got Malzahn. They're going to be really good.
I thought he ended up at UCF unless it was South Florida, but I thought it was UCF. R. Mason Thomas is one.
R. Mason Thomas, now he has played.
Hicks is another one.
But I agree. He looks the part and seems like he should be almost a 75% on-field player.
Yeah, if he's I thought he was at UCF. UCF will have a great game plan with him at quarterback. I mean, Gus Malzahn will.
Stone Reed, absolutely.
With KJ, yeah.
Caleb Hicks, yeah. I mean, I would go with that one too, Jay.
Wow, Ron says Kansas will have their hands full with Georgia in the playoffs. Hey, but I say wow, but if they win the Big 12, they're going to be in the playoff.
That's exactly right, Jay.
Hey, which is crazy too, by the way.
Absolutely crazy.
Wouldn't it be kind of cool though? First year, OU, OSU both make the playoff, play each other.
Oh, that would be great. Bedlam continued. Hey, Michael says Javante Barnes, Jay. And he does. His sizes. Was it Hunter talking to me about Dickerson? Recruit.
Eric Dickerson?
A recruit. I was wondering if it was his son.
I'm not sure. Now, Franklin's a good name, too, that could be a sleeper. He definitely could be a sleeper. Could he be a Tawee Walker in a different way?
No.
Under the radar.
I don't know what Franklin, how much he's going to play, Jay. I don't compare him to Tawee Walker. I think he's more of a guy out of the backfield that's going to catch some balls.
A guy that Tawee Walker kind of came out of nowhere is what I'm saying. Yeah, Tatum. It came out today, number one running back. Did y'all see that? College football number one running back for freshmen. So there it is. A lot of hype for him.
But I will say that is a position, Jay, where you may not play 4 or 5 deep. A lot of these positions you will. I'm not sure running back is one you want to do that.
I didn't like it when they did that in previous years. I like to get a guy that's hot and roll with him. And other guys will get carries, but I don't like when they play too many guys.
I mean, Sawchuk's not a 30 carry guy. I will say that. He's probably a 17 to 18 a game guy.
Agree. I think more like 2021 probably. But not 30. No running back does 30 anymore. Maybe Ollie Gordon, maybe. Where's OSU going to finish, guys, in the Big 12? I mean, they got a lot of guys
Second to
back.
fourth. Second to fourth.
A lot of guys back.
Second to fourth. Yeah, Bobby, he is really high on Tatum. I think he wants to prove a point, also showing how great that recruit is.
And also, I think a lot of people, they're like, hold the horses on Tatum. He's just now arriving on campus. He's it wasn't an early enrollee. My answer to the people that say that, though, is he's a 5-star. And if you go look I don't know, we could talk about it, but in the history of 5-star running backs at Oklahoma, how many have not panned out?
Jeremy Calhoun.
Calhoun's one. Correct.
Hey, Jay, and what you just said.
5-star running backs, a lot of times, they're really dang good. I mean, I think so.
What you just said, late, not an early enrollee, also plays baseball, whatever you want to say, all that is trumped with 5-star. If you said all those things and followed it with 3-star, yeah, he's not playing. 5-star trumps all those others. The other things don't matter. 5-star.
Hey, real quick though, we're talking about 5. We're talking about you talked about baseball, and it brought into my mind James Nesta, that also plays baseball. But hey, this 25 class, OU's got to get some linebackers committed in this class. I think that's a big time need for this team for the 25 class, and 25 and 26 both. And so I think it's a very important, just as we talked about, power line is always important. I do think the next few classes with linebacker, which with what you're going to be losing at that position, I think it's important to get some guys committed, some really good talent committed there. And I think they will. I just think we'll see who. I mean, you only had Nesta last year, was the only linebacker they brought in. So
Dalpo I am very high on McCarty. I watched him in high school, and I know he played. He got a pick, I think, and I saw some highlight on a video. I just don't know how much he's going to play outside of special teams. I think he can be an unbelievable special teams player this year, but I think his time's coming more in the future as far as in the secondary. Just my opinion.
Bobby, you think they're only going to bring in one in this class, or you think 26 will be real heavy then?
Billy Sims would be a 5.
You really are going to have probably Kobe, Jaron, Kip. Those will all be back next year. But I was just wondering, because to get other guys prepared after them, that's my thought is, hey, get some guys prepared a year or two before. But
you know anything? What's your take on that, Jay? Do you know anything on that, the Miami linebacker?
No, do not.
Neither do I. I would say it's rumor because I don't know much about it.
But I don't follow recruiting like a lot of other people. So
correct. Neither do I.
Yeah, Bobby, 26 will be heavy. Just a stack. It is a stacked room. I just was wondering if you could get maybe. I know you're going to get more than. I would think if you, instead of taking one, if you get at least 2 to give you. But who knows? Greg got said other people have spoke on it, insiders. So there you go.
Then maybe there's some truth to it, but it doesn't mean it still can't be rumor.
Yeah, that's right. Don't deal with rumor.
And again, I don't.
Hey, I'll say this on the Hodge stuff when that was happening. A lot of people were throwing that out there. Rumors she wasn't in there. I said I wasn't going to speak on it just because I don't know anything about it, and that rumor ended up being true. So who knows? It could be true. I don't know enough to really talk about it. So
maybe he'll be here for the barbecue. It sounds like. Yeah,
you got a big time. June and July are big time for recruiting, and you got to finish off your class.
Is it good if OU just stays consistent as where they are in recruiting, or do you think it's got to be a next level thing?
Well, I mean, you end up another top 5 class. It's great. I will say
that's what I'm saying.
You know, where they're sitting right now is really good, but I think if you could close and move up a few spots and then guarantee yourself to be in the top 5, because you're you're not going to take as many as some teams are. So they got to be really quality players, everyone you get, to keep that number high.
Correct. Absolutely, Jay. Lincoln Riley coming back for the barbecue. That is the rumor going around. Well, if he does, I'm sure something's going to get burned. So,
bringing his brisket, Bobby says. I smoked a pork the other day. It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Hey, NBA's over, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Dalpo says would Latrell being a fullback would have a fullback, but nobody.
I
don't know.
I agree, Dalpo. I agree. Look, I wish we could say, yeah, we have a fullback, H-back type guy, because we got some guys who can do it. I just don't know what we're going to run as far as that. I need to see that, and that's that's probably the other highly anticipated thing.
Hey, Uncle Charlie, that's right. And Jimmy and Joe's better than X's and O's, correct? And consistent. Now, you throw a one top 5 recruiting class out there, doesn't mean a whole lot to me. You get 3 or 4 in a row, 5 in a row, you start stacking them on top. Then if you're not a really good team, then you have a problem. And I'll say this, Jimmy and Joe's are better than X's and O's. So is NIL. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that to the bank, Michael says. Uncle Charlie.
I mean, you can look in the history of recruiting. I bet there's not throw out Texas A&M because we all know they've been unbelievable. But as far as not performing, that is, I was being sarcastic. But teams that have had top 5 recruiting classes 4 years in a row or 5 years, the chances of them not having real good years is pretty slim. I think most of them have pretty good years. So.
Yeah, and Jay, you can talk about brisket rub in a minute. Ron, it's probably too early. He's starting to get interested. We are going to run the race to the SEC. He is. I'm not. He's going to go running that 5K. That's going to be a cool event if you guys don't know about it. 11 p.m., Sunday, June 30th. You run, you finish at Palace in the Prairie at midnight, the day OU officially joins the SEC. And then the next day, July 1st, or that day, 2 to 7, they have the big sale going on. It's going to be a good couple of days, Jay.
Yeah, and also, you saw Texas doing theirs, I think, June 30th, and they got Pitbull coming. Who is Oklahoma going to have? Going to go with the Country Star? Hey, good brisket rub. I'm a Meat Church guy. I don't know if you're familiar with Meat Church. Meat Church is really good, but I also mix my own with it. So it's kind of my own rub, but it's Meat Church mixed with some other stuff that I have.
Hey, you don't hear me compliment Jay very much, guys, but I will say he's a pretty good cook.
I can cook. I like to cook.
Hey, what else is cooking is the fan stop, Jay. Listen, everybody. I got a flight. I got to swat that thing. Hey, check out the fan stop, especially those national championship shirts. Check them out. Hunter has made that graphic. You can see the links in the description of our channel. Order you one, fanstop.com. Check out the shirts. You see them there, the red, the ash gray, for Pete. Get them there, officially licensed. And everybody, Surgeaholics, thanks for being here again tonight. We'll do this again tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic Friday. Boomer.
Sooner.